Hello dear students, welcome to the session. We are continuing with the anemia, and in this session we will be discussing about two nutritional deficiency status in anemia, that is iron deficiency anemia and megaloblastic anemia. First we can see iron deficiency anemia, what it is and how we are managing that. Anemia caused by an inadequate supply of dietary iron. That is actually nutritional deficiency anemia or iron deficiency anemia. And it is the most prevalent nutritional disorder, and more prevalence is occurring between 12 to 36 months of age and adolescent age. Because these two ages are very critical period. During 12 to 36 months, most of the growth and development will be occurring for the child. From a lying down position to walking, running, the demands are high during this time, and the child dietary changes happening. That is, from breast milk we are trying to wean the child to a normal diet. And in the adolescent age, that is a period of growth spurt. And in female and also in male, there are the maturation of the sexual organs and other changes are happening. There also more demand happens for child, and that is the reason why during this time more prevalence can be seen for iron deficiency anemia. Regarding the pathophysiology, there are certain factors which we have to consider when we are explaining the pathophysiology of iron deficiency anemia, and they are: it can be because of decreased supply of iron through diet. When we are giving this dietary diet of the child, it contains very less amount of iron. Decreased absorption, any gastrointestinal status that leads to, even though the dietary supplementation is adequate, it is not happening, that is absorption is not happening in the GIT. And the third reason for this iron deficiency anemia can be increased need of the body. So athletics or any other demands, that is comparing to the nutritional supplements, demand is high for the body. And increased synthesis of hemoglobin, that can be some problem or some factors which is related to bone marrow, and it is resulting in increased synthesis of hemoglobin. So these are some of the factors which leads to iron deficiency anemia. So we have to think that there are other factors also which is responsible in addition to the poor dietary supply of iron. So iron is one of the major component necessary for the synthesis of hemoglobin, and if there is decreased amount of iron or without iron, bone marrow continues to manufacture RBC, but the content of hemoglobin will be decreased, and that results in compromised tissue oxygenation. In the previous session we have seen what are the difficulties which happens when the hemoglobin or the RBC level is decreased, which can lead to even congestive cardiac failure and also growth failure, and that is the explanation we have to read along with that particular topic. So here what happens is, bone marrow is continuing manufacturing RBC with decreased amount of hemoglobin. So this hemoglobin concentration is reduced and the oxygen carrying capacity of the RBC is decreased or compromised. So that is the explanation of pathophysiology of anemia, iron deficiency anemia. So we can see the clinical manifestations. There will be progressive pallor of skin, conjunctiva and mucous membrane. The next is irritability, anorexia, tiredness, weakness, failure to thrive, that is adequate weight is not gained according to the age of the child. Atrophy of tongue papillae, so the child will have difficulty in sensing the taste or different taste, and also there will be anorexia as a part of that. And pica, that is non-nutritive items they will be eating more. Next is koilonychia, and it can be seen in older children. Another problem is diarrhea, and severe conditions it leads to cardiomegaly and congestive cardiac failure, growth failure. These all things can occur. So what do you mean by koilonychia? This picture you can see, this is a dystrophy of fingernails. That is, the nails become very thin and there will be incurving of the nails that leads to a spooning of fingernails. That is, just like spoon, it will be incurved and it is known as koilonychia, and this can be seen in older children comparing to smaller children. So that is a particular feature in anemia. So the diagnosis of iron deficiency anemia can be done by peripheral blood smear, that is microcytic hypochromic RBCs can be seen, that is cells size will be decreased and the color also will be decreased, that is microcytic hypochromic. Then reticulocytes count may be normal or reduced. Hemoglobin percentage is low, and when you are seeing some amount of reduction can be seen in the RBC count also. WBC platelets are usually normal because iron concentration, iron level is not well connected with the WBC and platelets. Iron level, the serum iron level is low and iron binding capacity is also high. Then bone marrow studies can be done to rule out any other reasons for this anemia. So these are the diagnosis of or diagnostic measures for iron deficiency anemia. So some of the complications already we have discussed, and still some of the complications are congestive cardiac failure, especially in children it is leading to congestive cardiac failure. Recurrent infections can be there because the cellular metabolism and the immunity level of the child can be decreased. Then malabsorption syndrome, growth retardation and mental subnormality. So the nervous system, when it is affected, there will be mental subnormality. Regarding the management, that is improvement of dietary intake, especially iron and protein containing food should be emphasized. Then chronic blood loss should be diagnosed and treated adequately. So that is about the management. So dietary supplementation is very important, and iron therapy oral 3 to 6 milligram per kilogram per day in divided doses in between meals for 3 to 6 months. So that is a dosage of iron, and in severe conditions it may needed for parenteral therapy, and especially when GI bleeding is likely to be worsened, we will be preferring the parenteral therapy. So the dose calculation can be done based on this particular formula, that is iron required is equal to 2.5 into body weight into hemoglobin deficit. So how you can find the hemoglobin deficit is that there is the difference between measured and desired values of hemoglobin according to the age of the child. So we have to consider what is the desired value and what is the present value of the child, and that we can find the difference. That is a way how you have to calculate the hemoglobin deficit. Daily dose of IM injection should not exceed 5 milligram per kilogram. Parenteral drug when we are giving, it should not exceed 5 mg per kilogram. So this is the dose calculation and details of iron therapy. So in some conditions like severe cases, we needed blood transfusion to overcome the complications. Deworming also can be done, and other symptomatic and supportive care to be provided or required. So some of the absorption problems can be because of the presence of worm infestation. So that is the reason why we have to go with deworming regular.